welcome my Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your 7-card draw shadow read for this full moon, right? We're doing full moon, void of course. We'll talk about that in a minute. To in August to the new moon in Virgo, yay! September, I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, obviously a Virgo, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle production since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch on Kindle, link in the description box. The Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. All my close friends do, except for a bunch of them who refuse to. Other than that, welcome aboard. Yeah, we're doing a 7-card draw. If you're new to the channel, a 7-card, 8-card, 5-card draw, whatever it is one card, in this case, from 7 different decks to get you clues, tips, and hints about a specific timeline. This time we're doing 2 tarot, 2 healing systems, 3 oracles, one of which is brand new, so you'll be the first time getting the Divine Animals Oracle. Only reading from 2 bookie books. If you've been following me, you know what that means. For the last 2, we are going to be using the Macron Healing Mantra deck, but not going to be reading from the bookie book, because otherwise it's too long, and I don't like reading from the book too much. But these last 2 decks are new, so not as familiar with them. So we're going to trust the Divine to do that, to draw the right cards through me for you to get you clues, tips, and hints about a waning moontide, right? We are looking at the full moon, void of course. Like, it goes void of course the same time it goes full, because we already had a full moon in Aquarius last month. That's how that works. Sorry, I didn't write them rules, apparently. Maybe I did, I just don't remember it. So yeah, it will go full as well as void, of course, at 8:02 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. I am on the East Coast. I'm from New York, and you know how shy we are about telling people where we're from. But then it goes into Pisces, 8:43 a.m., so you can still catch the waning side of that. Certainly, if you want to do the Aquarius full moon stuff, I would certainly recommend doing it the night before on Saturday the 21st. But then we're looking at a waning moon. Boop, 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 boop. Shrinking, letting go, releasing, alchemizing, healing to the new moon on September 6th, my birthday, which is a new moon in Virgo. That's got to be good for me, right? I got a new moon in Virgo on my birthday. It is a Monday. It is Labor Day here in the U.S. 8:52 p.m. Oh, great. So I'm doing dark moon for practically the whole day, but I bet 9 p.m. is going to be fun. I'll be doing something for sure. So let's have a look and see what hits the table. It's a general read, you know that. Check your other signs, because you might get more information about the scenario that you need. So what do I need? Read what you might need to know about. Or it could be something else completely different. But still, this is what the Divine says you need on just the channel. Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. If you want to book me for a reading, there's a video link, YouTube link down there, booking a reading with Mal. And it's not just how to book a reading with me, but what actually goes on before, during, and after. Right, there's all sorts of cool linky-doos down there, and particularly I have to say the Angelo Lyons Mal for Short private Facebook group is growing, and it's lovely. Got some really lovely people in there. Some linkies in the descriptions. All right, let's do this one more time. Please take a nice deep breath, my Aries. Here we go. Starting with the Caroline Mace archetype deck, I call upon my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, the higher selves of all involved, the sacred totems, and the pantheons of all. Please, one card in clarity for the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the dominant 8th chakra archetype? Right, to show them what they need to alchemize from lead to gold, from toxic to healthy. Lead having 3 more atoms than gold. They have to transform, release those 3 atoms to go from insulator to conductor, toxic to healthy, pain to peace. What is that dominant archetype for them this full moon in August to new moon in Virgo in September? And you've got the judge archetype. This isn't about being judgmental. Any archetype can be judgmental. This is a wisdom family archetype and glad to see it. Now, the shadow side is always going to be toxic. The light side is always going to be healthy. And we're all on that spectrum of alchemy, percentage-wise somewhere in there. This might not just be you, though. You might be dealing with somebody with this as well. An archetype can manifest in your life in many different ways. That's why it's 8th chakra. It can be showing up inside, outside, upside down. Josie and the Pussycats. Did I just quote Josie and the Pussycats? I think I did. The shadow attribute of the judge, offering only destructive criticism. That's being judgy. Misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. Putting your thumb on the scale. Literally, there is a... You can't see this from here. There is a scale on that. So, you know, like, think critics. Oh my God, there was a theater critic on Long Island. I don't even want to say her name. She might still be alive. Not that I'm in theater anymore. But man, it didn't matter what anybody did. She just hated it. I don't think I could remember her name right now. Studio theater at Lindenhurst when I worked as a teenager. So, you know, that's someone really stuck in the toxicity of the negativity of it all, but always coming from pain and unhealed wounds, right? Not to mention what they do to themselves in their own judgment. But the light attribute, balancing justice and compassion, managing fair distribution of power. So yeah, it might be financial, but that's financial power, right? Balancing a schedule to make sure, but that's the power of time and effort, and making sure that you are staying somehow in balance. Cool. Let's keep going. We're going to do Daughters of the Moon Tarot to kind of build upon that. If that's the 8th chakra, you got the Judge archetype active in some way, shape, or form. It's going to affect every other chakra within you. So this is heart, third eye, crown. Please take a nice deep breath. And certainly this is where a lot of alchemy occurs, right? Within our own interior world, our yin interior world, or more feminine rather than masculine energy. Please take one more nice deep breath. As I call upon my goddesses of fire and the sign of Aries, what's going on that they need to deal with? Heart, third eye, crown. What's the shadow they need to embrace in alchemy, right? With that judge archetype. Again, it can be a judge archetype on the externals, right? The outside of them really triggering whatever they need to address. So what do they need to address within their own heart, third eye, and crown? This full to new, we are looking at the Hermit, the Wise One, in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the Crone. The Priestess in this deck is the Maiden, the Empress, Mawu is the Mother, and here we have the Kaliach, the Kaliach, riding a gray horse over what looks like Stonehenge. I'm not going to out and out and say it's Stonehenge, but it's definitely a stone circle, which always indicates time. Right? We usually see the Hermit card suspended in air or up on a cliff, but usually with eyes closed. And her eyes are closed, and I know you can't... Oh, what the hell? Let's see how close I can get with the camera. She's carrying a wand in her hand. You see that? A little crystal wand, but it is lit. It's lit. So she's literally channeling her own light to guide her way, and yet to see from a larger point of view. I'm going to say this is very crown chakra. The third eye, you can certainly look at the world through third eye in terms of like fair distribution of power and social justice and all of that stuff. That's exalted consciousness at its best. Here, unity consciousness in the crown. Whew, that's really seeing, it's the penthouse. The 8th chakra is the satellite. It is really seeing things still from a personal level of power, but sort of the spiritual wisdom being gained here. The sacrament of extreme unction, last rites, the grace of wisdom and the grace of illumination in my book, Words of Grace. So, you know, absolutely, that makes sense. That's why I'm really feeling the energy here in the crown chakra. So, you know, do not judge lest you be judged there. I just gave you New Testament, not bad for a witch. I know, I've read, I've experienced directly a lot of that stuff because it's universal truth if you could find it in there, and I do. Then this is really even the wise one, perhaps even looking over the past. It is a waning moon, right? Looking over the past at what you have perhaps gained in terms of wisdom through experience. And remember this, I teach this in which class? Cycle 1, Class 1. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. You can read every book on the planet until you actually take the risk. and put it into action and learn from it. It's not really wisdom, it's a knowledge, which is lovely. Knowledge, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, but so is a whole lot in the not so healthy direction. So perhaps this isn't just seeing the present moment, but maybe even looking over your shoulder and seeing, oh, this is all part of a larger schemata, a larger lesson that I am learning from this. Let's look at your lower 3 chakras, the external world here, more the yang, the masculine energy. And this can be you from the outside, us looking at the outside, or you looking from the outside in at yourself, or you from the inside looking out at some aspect of the physical world that would affect root, sacrum, solar plexus dynamic, and it can be holographic, meaning it can be both. Breathe. I call upon my gods of fire in the sign of Aries, please. 1 card in clarity for the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What do they need to be aware of in the external world? Like we said, from the outside looking in or from their own inside looking out. Maybe some of that, maybe all of that. With this Judge archetype in the 8th, the Hermit on the inner, which definitely they're keeping some stuff to themselves. I can feel that. Right, not ready to pull the trigger necessarily, really going into a deeper and yet higher contemplation here for the sake of wisdom. So what is this about on the outer, please? You got double whammy in terms of major arcana. You got the Emperor. This is Zeus. This is Zeus. This could be dealing with an authority figure, a father figure, a boss, or this could be you, and only you are going to know that. In a general read, which is why I offer personal readings, right? You tell me what reading it is, I'll look at the notes, right? Because I write all the cards down on my clipboard. So at least we have a jumping off point. And like I said, there's a video in the description box if you want to see how to do that. So, I mean, look, the Judge. So let's just play with the words, right? The Judge, the Hermit, the wise one, and the Emperor. We're looking at a very powerful dynamic here about control. But surrender is the ultimate form of control. But surrender to who? Surrender to the divine, right? And that might be seeing, oh my God, I have not judged this accurately, because who can, right? Particularly when we realize that there is a larger plan in play. Now, the vibe I'm getting off this this Zeus Emperor card here is that this is most likely you getting ready to bust a move, to throw some lightning here. The Divine Masculine card, if you want to go there, right? Father, Son, Sage, King, all of that together, all the kings of the tarot, the 4 suits. So there is a decision. There is some kind of truth, lightning, that you're going to get. Maybe you're struck by it, really showing you something enlightening, but in your yang energy, it's going to be either thrown from you or thrown at you by some sort of authority figure, and it's not the Hierophant, it's the Emperor. So this doesn't have to be male. I'm just saying more of an externalized yang energy from the inside out rather than the feminine from the outside in. Did I get that right? Well, let's just keep going. Yay! The Healing Mantra deck by Batcon. So this is the mantra, and I'm just going to tell you, these help me a lot, and they help my clients a lot, those who choose to work them. They're like seeds. You have to plant them and tend them every day for a little while. But I recommend, if you do check all your other signs, to write down the mantras, not the titles. You can do that too. But the mantras themselves, and put them all together. And they create paragraphs of power. It's kind of cool. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the Ascended Masters, will say General Assembly, all y'all. Please, 1 card in clarity, the perfect healing mantra for this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading. What is their perfect healing mantra to help them alchemize this Judge from shadow to light with the Wise One, the Hermit within, and the Emperor without, whether that's them or somebody else? What is their perfect healing mantra? This void, of course, full moon to new moon in Virgo. Encountering conflict. Dun dun dun. I don't have to choose sides. I take a stand. This is a very, very handy mantra nowadays. It's saying that really you don't have to agree with somebody when you are in a conflict, but you can listen to them. It is a way of being loving, and let's call it what it is, fair, right? So what that means is I don't have to take sides. I don't have to agree or disagree right this second, but I can take a stand for love. I can be loving. Most people just want to be heard, right? And if they really try and force you to agree with them, with this hermit on the inside, I think you know better, but the hermit also doesn't speak. Throat chakra, heart, throat, third eye, crown dynamic here. So this might be a Zeusian, not to be confused with Seussian. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. No, this might be an authority figure, a father figure. I'm kind of getting for some of you, if not literally your father. Remember, it doesn't even have to be male, but a boss, a political figure. I'll leave that on the table, right? One where there is some conflict here. So the mantra is really brilliant. I don't have to choose sides. I choose to take a stand, right? I don't have to choose sides. I take a stand. I take a stand for love. Then I don't have to take this personally. I'm in my hermit mode on the inside, so they can't touch you unless you engage in conflict, right? Instead of saying, well, I'm just here. I just want to listen. I'm just going to listen because you're a human being. You don't have to tell them you're a Thal incarnate as a human being. Don't go there unless they speak the language, but then this may not be that much of a conflict. You just open-heartedly just hear them. And if they trigger you, that's you. It's your trigger. If they say things that infuriate you, you don't have to agree with them. You do you. And now do you get the balance of power here, right? Managing the fair distribution of power. That how much power does this person truthfully have over you? Not with how much you have learned, but you can hear them out. And you know what? It is a move of love. Even if it doesn't change them one iota, it transforms you. So it's not surrendering to them. It's surrendering the desire to be in conflict. I don't have to choose sides. I take a stand. And with what we've got going on the planet, oh geez, pick one. There are billions of those conflicts. Lovely. Now the party turner. We've got our 2 tarot decks and our 2 healing systems on the table. Everything else is oracle, all 3 decks. Whispers of love. This is where you get the romance card or the, turn on your heart light, which makes me have a Neil Diamond moment every single time. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, not just the Aries, the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, though I will not say this is necessary, well, it's all soul contracts, but if this Emperor is themselves, that they're standing strong that way, then, tell us, what is the whisper of love, the piece of information, inspiration, or insight most needed from the higher selves of all involved for the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun, watching this video, receiving this reading, alchemizing the Judge archetype from shadow to light, with the Hermit within, the Emperor without in some way, encountering conflict. They don't need to choose sides. They're taking a stand in some way, shape, or form. This full moon void, of course, to new moon in Virgo. Please back to what you love. This current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. The Judge archetype. Yeah. So look, it's very possible that this conflict you are encountering might be within yourself. I'm not really getting that. But the higher selves are saying this is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. Like maybe if this Emperor is someone external to you, annoying, maybe even tyrannical, right? My way or the highway. Well, it's giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. Like instead of rip their heads off, I'm just going to listen to them. And if I get triggered, that's on me. Shadow work time, right? Let me clear what I can clear here. And certainly the Hermit is good at that because you've done it before. We've all done shadow work before. We just don't realize it. It's often called the good cry, and to the extreme, the nervous breakdown. Marianne Williamson said in her book, A Return to Love, nervous breakdowns are highly underrated forms of spiritual awakening or something like that. And she's right. She's right? It's a dark night of the soul. All right, the newest deck. Oh, the Divine Animals Oracle. Look at this book. This is thick. I'm going to call it a bookie book. It's like a chunk of booklet. Chunk of booklet. Sounds bad. I don't know why. I did an unboxing of this. Oh, I should put that in the description box. All right, we'll put that in the description box. You're the first of the series. So what I'm going to do, because there's so much information on each of these cards, I'm just going to like go with what they guide me. And if they tell me to read the whole thing, they tell me to read the whole thing. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the totems and the spirit animals, there is a difference, not going into it here and now. Please, the totemic field, the pantheons of the animal spirits and the totems and all of that, please. One card in clarity for the Aries collective. Oh, this feels good. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What is their divine animal oracle message here to help them with this judge archetype within themselves, within somebody else, with the hermit on the inner, the emperor on the outer? Maybe this is a legal situation now that I look at that emperor and that judge. It's a possibility there, encountering conflict. They don't have to take sides. They can. They don't have to choose sides. They can take a stand, and that this is giving them an opportunity to get back to what they love, get clear on what they want. So who's the divine animal they need? This full moon void, of course, to new in Virgo, and this is the new piece of selenite I got. I got this deck from the Magic Moon, and look at this thing. I love it. The one it shall sit on. Who you got? The Snow Leopard, which is also the cover of the book. How's that for Aries, right? And of course, we have micro. Don't worry, I have pants on. We have micro. Like I'm gonna sit on my dining room table without pants on. My dining room table seats. Itty bitty. The Watcher. Very Marvel. What if? The Watcher. I forget his name. He's one of many. The Watcher, because I'm wearing DC, I'm probably not allowed. My chakras won't let me. Card number 13. Now I gotta tell you, they should give you a magnifying glass or a microscope because it's itty bitty, teeny tiny little font. Let's see what it says. Card number 15, the Snow Leopard. Panthera uncia, UNCIA, I guess that's the genus species, the Watcher. Take the high road. Like, I don't know, like, don't choose sides, take a stand. Take the high road. Do not sink to the level of low vibration. Observe a situation closely before acting. Being silent is an option. Oh my God. The Hermit on the inner. Puzzle pieces. Being silent is an option. Ethics is the number one concern. It is best not to continually draw attention to yourself just for the sake of filling up your ego. A little mystery is a good thing. Oh, I like that. There's a power imbalance here. Just listen. Just listen. Yeah, it's going to challenge your ego, but your soul, not so much, right? Let's see. We got mythos here. We've got the animal itself. We've got the magic. Let's see what it says for the magic. Snow Leopard magic is all about the power of being the silent watcher. I can't believe that's so very much the Hermit. Western society is an extroverted one with the emphasis on the individual and being seen, yet there is much advantage to examining things quietly and observing before making decisions. Taking your time and observing a situation before you decide the next steps is wise. Wise, the wise one. Snow Leopard magic is mysterious and ethical and can be used when you need assistance in taking the righteous path. Now, righteous is a tricky, triggery word. It means right use. It's the opposite of abuse. Abuse, right use, right? Symbology, eyes on prayer flags, cat in snow, leopard footprint in snow. All right, so we've got that. The Watcher totally makes sense. Digging this deck big time. It makes sense in the reading. First time around, kind of happy about that. But let's get the Blessed Bee card, right? And who writes the Blessed Bee? Who made the Blessed Bee? The magical Celtic blessing cards to enrich and empower. Blessed Bee. That would be Lucy Cavendish, she's back. Ach, she's back. Cribbins. Please take a nice deep breath. Because even though it says Celtic, we're going to all pantheons, all cultures, all traditions. Breathe. As I call upon the pantheon of pantheons, please one card in clarity. For the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, what is the blessing? What is the blessing? My friends at Klarna. What is the blessing that you... These are Norwegian, Swedish. What is the blessing that you place upon this Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading that they may not see, that is already in play, already in place for them? And we'll do this, alchemizing the judge archetype from offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority, into balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power as the hermit on the inner, dealing with the emperor on the outer. Could be both them standing in their power with that snow leopard, just witnessing, watching, dealing with another emperor type, encountering conflict, that they don't have to choose sides. They can take a stand, and it's helping them get back to what they love. Their current situation is giving them an opportunity to reevaluate what they want. And with that snow leopard, to be silent and stealthy and watch and ethical, right? To keep their honor code intact. Dealing with this conflict, that they don't need to rip somebody's head off. This person really just wants to be heard. No one says that they have to agree with them unless they do, right? There might be something revealed here. So what is the blessing you have placed on the Aries collective, please, this full to new? A blessing on a new venture. A blessing on a new venture. Now, I have to say, there's nothing screaming like the two tarot major arcana cards. You know, there are no aces here. But it might feel like someone's giving you a little pushback. You know, sometimes it's really hard when it's what I call the toxicity of the well-meaning, right? Your friends and your family who don't want to see you take a risk because you might get hurt. But I don't get that's the dynamic here. But I think it's going to make you really get very, very clear what your heart's desire is in this, so that you can get back to what you love. Blessings on a new venture, not terribly long. Card number 20. Oh, breathe. Let me do this proper. Card number 20. Blessing on a new venture. A blessing to set direction, awaken determination, and establish a path through the unknown adventure ahead. May you look into the unknown tangle of possibilities ahead and find a pathway through to your goal and dreams. May the arrow of your intention, I don't know if you can see it, be drawn back with commitment and a strong hand. May your eyes pierce the veils of the unknown, and may the arrow take flight and be sure and true. When you strike the mark, may your hopes be exceeded by the reality, and may the relish with which you began the dream be equaled by the joy in bringing life to what were once only imagined possibilities. Let the way between you and your dream's maturity be clean and clear. Gather speed and above all obstacles as it journeys toward its mark. As you begin, be certain of yourself, yet open to adaptation. May you be clear on what it is you yearn for, yet as flexible as the bow. And may you be as sharp as the arrowhead, so that you may penetrate all that seeks to hold you back and find your mark, landing true and bold and deep. Blessed be. There's the image. You're doing the shadow read, right? You're pulling back, going in, hermit, 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 hermit. At some point, this emperor, whether it's you or somebody else, there's a conflict here, and it's getting you ready for that new moon in in Virgo to to let it go, to move forward on it, to launch it. Let me give you the overall blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my collective pantheons of the divine, please may the Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, be blessed with all that they need. This void, of course, full moon in August to the new moon in Virgo in September, that they may embrace the hermit, that they may go deeper in and higher up within themselves to the third eye and maybe even the crown chakra to get a larger point of view here so that they can alchemize the judge archetype into balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power, particularly their own where another is concerned. Them as the emperor, another as the emperor, maybe both of them as an emperor. Really, there's a conflict here of, it feels, control, but they don't have to choose sides. They just need to take a stand. They need to take a stand for what they love. They need to take a stand for who they are, and they just need to listen and respect this person. That's an emperor. An emperor can see, can hear, can listen, and still make their own wise decisions within themselves, because this situation is giving them the opportunity to get back to what they love, to really consider what it is they want, and maybe this person is being presented to give them a foil, as it were, a little irresistible, a little immovable object to their irresistible force, so they get really, really, really clear, like sharpening a blade, getting very, very clear and precise about what they want as a result of this interaction. But with that divine animal energy of the snow leopard, to be quiet, to listen, to keep their honor, keep their integrity, instead of falling into the abuse of power that the judge might have, to really rise up into the alchemy of that, because they have a blessing on some new venture in their life, whether it's a relationship, whether it's work, career, vocation, spiritual path, it doesn't matter. May they accept and embrace this blessing to help them do the shadow work necessary here, that even should they sit and kindly listen, giving as much love as they can, and afterwards going, I still wanted to tear their heads off, that's okay too. That they take the time on this to do the healing, giving themselves the love, the respect, but not necessarily taking the action, being possessed by that shadow, by that pain out into the world, causing more havoc, rather to balance that power within themselves for their well-being, certainly for the well-being whoever is crossing their path, and because the whole world is doing this honestly, through the unity consciousness of all, for the well-being of all. So motivating. So it is. Tricky, but it's a shadow read. What do you want? Hearts and flowers, ham and pears. No. So there you have it. If you liked it, like it. You want more, subscribe. You want to book me, there's a link explaining how to do that. Read my book, Words of Grace. It's really good. I think you get a kick out of the grace of wisdom and the grace of illumination in the crown chakra. It's broken up by chakra chapters with cool stuff before it and cool stuff after it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Share it if you like. I don't know, like, subscribe, comment. Are you the emperor? Are they the emperor? Tell me down below, because I would love to know. Otherwise, wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed of this full to new August into September. My beloved Aries, hail. Farewell, and blessed, blessed be.